Okay, let's get into this. Did you know that in New York State alone, there are over 300,000 traffic crashes every single year?
Wow. Yeah, that's a huge number.
It really is staggering. And it kind of brings home a simple truth. Even if you're the most careful, rule-following driver out there, you could still unexpectedly find yourself involved in something. Doesn't even have to be your fault.
Absolutely. It's a situation nobody wants to be in, super stressful, disorienting,
Right.
but being prepared. It isn't just about your own safety, which is, obviously priority number one.
Of course.
It's also really, really important to understand the specific legal things, the steps the state actually expects you to take right then and there.
And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive today. We're looking at one single official source that lays it all out. Chapter 12 of the New York State Driver's Manual. Specifically, the part called If You Are in a Traffic Crash.
And this isn't just like general advice. This is the state's own rule book for what happens after a crash. So our mission here is to kind of cut through all the details and pull up the absolute must-knows, the non-negotiable actions you need to take according to this official guide. The things you have to do to handle it responsibly and legally.
Okay, all right, so boom, the crash has happened. You're trying to get your bearings. What's the absolute number one thing the DMV manual says you must do?
It's incredibly clear on this. You must stop your vehicle. Full stop.
Period.
Period. It really emphasizes that. Doesn't matter how minor the damage looks, you have to stop.
And the manual draws a really sharp line, doesn't it, about how serious leaving the scene is depending on what actually happened.
It does, and this really underlines why stopping is so vital. Leaving the scene. Okay, if it's only property damage, the manual says that's a traffic violation.
Okay.
But if someone gets injured or worse, killed, leaving the scene jumps way up. It becomes a criminal violation. That's a huge difference in legal terms.
A massive difference. Okay, so you've stopped. What info does this official guide say you absolutely have to exchange with the other people involved?
Right, the exchange. You need to give out several key things. Your name, your address, your driver's license number, and your vehicle registration info.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, but also, and this is crucial, your full insurance details. That means the company name, your policy number, and the effective dates of your coverage.
The dates, too. Okay.
Yep. And the manual says this info needs to go to any other drivers involved and also to any police officers who show up.
And what about the actual insurance card? Do you need to, physically show it?
Yes. The manual explicitly states you must be ready to show your insurance ID card if someone asks for it.
Okay. What if the crash wasn't with another moving car?
Right.
Say you hit a parked car or, I don't know, someone's fence. Or even, it mentions, an injured domestic animal.
Yeah, it covers those specifics too. If you damage a parked car or other property or injure a domestic animal, the manual says you have to make a, quote, reasonable effort to find the owner.
Reasonable effort. Okay.
And if you just can't find the owner, then you are legally required to notify the police about what happened. Got it. Now, there's a point the manual really stresses, using words like immediately. This seems critical. Absolutely non-negotiable. If anyone is injured or killed in the crash, the manual is emphatic. Notify the police immediately.
Right away.
Right away. And make sure that emergency help, ambulance, rescue, whatever's needed is called to the scene without any delay.
Okay, so that's the immediate legal stuff. The manual also gives some practical advice, right? For managing the scene itself, if you can, for safety.
It does. It suggests, if it's safe to do so, move your vehicle off the road. Get it out of the way of traffic to prevent more problems.
Makes sense.
And also try to protect the scene. Use your hazard lights, put out reflectors or flares if you have them.
Yeah.
Basically, warn oncoming traffic.
And it includes a specific warning about other dangers at the scene.
Yes, a couple of important ones. Watch out for fuel leaks. Big fire risk there.
Definitely.
And critically protect yourself and anyone else there from oncoming traffic. That remains a huge danger right around a crash site. Stay alert.
Okay. So you've stopped. You've exchanged info, dealt with the immediate scene safety. Now, the manual touches on first aid, but it starts with kind of surprising advice for drivers who aren't actually involved in the crash.
Yeah, this is interesting guidance. It basically says if you weren't involved, you should not stop at the scene.
Really? Don't stop.
Unless it's really clear that emergency help hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your job is just to drive carefully, keep moving, and obey any traffic officers there. Don't add to the congestion or confusion.
Okay. But if you are involved, and maybe help is still on the way, the manual gives a core principle for dealing with injured people.
It does, and it's a really, really important one. It might go against your instinct, But the advice is, do not move an injured person.
Do not move them.
Unless it is absolutely necessary because of some immediate life-threatening danger. The classic example is like the car is on fire.
Okay, only in extreme danger.
Exactly. And if you absolutely have to move them because of that danger, the manual even describes a specific way to do it, trying to minimize more harm.
Wow, it gets that specific.
Yeah, surprisingly so. It talks about keeping their back and neck as straight as possible. You put your arms under their back, use your upper arms to support their neck, hold onto their clothing, and then pull them head first, straight away from the danger.
Trying to keep the spine stable.
That's the idea. It's about spine alignment during that emergency move.
The manual also warns about downed wires, right? That's another hazard.
A huge one, super dangerous. The source is very clear. Stay far away from any downed wires.
Don't go near them.
No way. And if wires are actually touching the vehicle or lying near it, you need to warn anyone inside to stay inside until proper emergency help arrives. The vehicle or the ground around it could be live.
Okay, that's critical safety info. So you've handled the immediate scene, the stop, the info, safety checks, first aid considerations. But your legal duties might not be over yet. The manual makes it very clear there's a mandatory reporting requirement to the DMV itself.
Right. This is a step that I think a lot of drivers might not know about, or maybe they misunderstand it. The manual lays out exactly when you have to file this report.
So what are those specific triggers? When does this mandatory reporting kick in?
There are basically two main conditions. One, if the crash involves any fatality or any personal injury, any injury at all.
Okay, injury or fatality, that seems clear.
The other one, and this is the one that often surprises people when they read the manual, is if there's damage of $1,000 or more to the property of any one person involved.
Wait, hang on. Just $1,000. And not total damage, but to one person's property. That sounds like it could apply to a lot of relatively minor bumps these days, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And that's a really crucial detail the manual highlights. It's not $1,000 total. It's $1,000 or more to the property, car, fence, whatever, of any single individual involved.
Wow.
If that condition is met, or if there's any injury or fatality, reporting to the DMV is required, not optional.
And there's a specific form you have to use, right?
Yes, the manual names it. It's the Report of Motor Vehicle Accident, Form MV-104, and it mentions you can usually get this form at a motor vehicle office, sometimes from insurance agents, or you can download it from the DMV website.
Okay, MV-104. And here's a point the manual makes that seems really easy to overlook, or maybe just assume incorrectly if you haven't read this.
This is absolutely key. The manual explicitly says that reporting the crash to your insurance company, that does not satisfy your separate legal duty to file this report with the DMV.
Ah, so they're two totally separate things.
Exactly. Reporting to insurance is for your policy. Reporting to the DMV via the MV-104 is a legal requirement from the state. Two different obligations.
And there's a deadline for getting that MV-104 form to the DMV, a strict one.
Very strict. The manual is firm. You must file that report with the DMV within 10 days of the crash happening.
10 days? That's not a lot of time.
Nope, the clock starts ticking right away.
So, okay, what if you don't? What if you meet those conditions, say, that $1,000 property damage threshold, but you fail to file this report within the 10 days? The manual talks about consequences, and they sound pretty serious.
They are serious. Failure to report an accident that meets those criteria, it's classified as a criminal offense. A misdemeanor, specifically.
Whoa, a misdemeanor, not just a ticket.
A misdemeanor. And the potential penalties listed include suspension or even outright revocation of your driver's license and your vehicle registration or registrations.
Lose your license and your plates.
Potentially, yes. And the manual also notes these consequences can hit the vehicle owner's license and registrations too, even if they weren't the one driving.
Wow. A criminal record. Losing your license, losing your registration, just for not filing a form within 10 days, even if you told your insurance company everything. That really puts a different light on the importance of this reporting rule.
It absolutely does. The manual leaves no doubt this is a serious legal obligation, and messing it up can have severe consequences.
The manual does provide one sort of exception, doesn't it, if the driver themselves is hurt?
Right. It mentions that if the driver is injured and physically unable to complete that MV-104 form within the 10-day deadline, then a passenger who was in the vehicle or the registered owner of the vehicle can complete and file the report for them.
Okay, so there's a backup plan if the driver is incapacitated. So let's bring this back to you. Listening right now, driving around New York, what's the big takeaway here?
Well, it means that dealing with a crash, I mean, it's way more than just swapping phone numbers and maybe calling your insurance agent.
Yeah.
This deep dive into the official DMV manual shows there are specific, legally required steps,
Hmm.
right from the moment it happens, that absolutely need to stop.
Mhm.
Then knowing exactly what info, including full insurance details, you have to exchange.
Mhm.
And then there's this critical, maybe often missed requirement to file that MV-104 report directly with the DMV.
Hmm.
Within that tight 10-day window, if certain conditions are met, conditions like that $1,000 damage threshold, that might be easier to hit than you realize.
Right.
Just being aware of these official rules before you're ever in that stressful situation, it's crucial. It helps you handle it correctly and, frankly, avoid some potentially big legal headaches later.
It's like having the state's playbook in your head just in case the unexpected happens.
Exactly that. Preparedness.
Okay, so let's quickly recap the absolute core mandatory actions we pulled from this section of the NYDMV manual. First, you must stop no matter what. Second, you must exchange specific info name, address, license, registration, and full insurance details with other drivers and police.
Right.
And third, you must file that report of motor vehicle accident, the MV-104, with the DMV within 10 days if anyone was injured or killed, or if there was the $1,000 or more in damage to the property of any one person. And super important, telling your insurance company is not the same as reporting to the DMV.
Those are the key legal steps from the source, yeah.
All right, now here's a final thought drawn straight from the source material for you to chew on. Think again about that specific trigger for mandatory reporting property damage of $1,000 or more to any one person. Now think about how much even minor bodywork or bumper repairs can cost on cars today.
It's expensive, right?
Very. Doesn't take much to hit that $1,000 mark.
So combine that potentially low threshold with the strict 10-day deadline to file the report, and the fact that not doing it is a criminal misdemeanor that could lead to losing your license and registration. Does knowing these specific requirements, straight from the official manual, maybe change how you perceive the seriousness of even what looks like a minor fender bender in the eyes of New York state law?
It certainly makes you think differently about those smaller incidents, doesn't it?
Definitely something to keep in the back of your mind next time you're out on the road.